Hello, YouTube. So today I decided I'm going to polish the bottom of my pans. I'm sure there's probably 100 things that would be better for me to do right now, but it just really called out to me. And so I have my pans here, my pots and pans, and these pans, they are over 21 years old. They're Martha Stewart stainless steel pans, and I got them as a wedding gift, and they actually have outlived my marriage. They are really durable, and they were worth every penny. They're very heavy duty, and they have copper bottoms, but occasionally the copper gets kind of gross, and so I decided I was going to clean it. And so I had this stuff, Brasso. I don't know how long it's been under my kitchen sink, but a while, and it's all goopy, and I'm sure it doesn't look like it's supposed to. But I put gloves on because God knows what's in this stuff, and I don't feel like pooping out my liver tomorrow. So anyway, I'm using Brasso. This stuff, it does really work. So I put it on here, and you can see that, you know, I mean, they lightened up actually in just a few minutes, but you can see they're kind of dark and grimy. But once you start scrubbing them, you know, you really see the miracle. So I put it on, and then I like wiped it on with a paper towel, and I let it sit. I want to let it sit like at least 5 minutes. And so I'm just going around with this Brillo pad to get off the chunky areas on the bottom. And I'm sure Martha Stewart does this too, polishes the bottom of her pots and pans on a Tuesday night when it's raining. So here I am, just making them nice and clean. This Brillo pad's getting sort of gross, but let's rinse it off and see how it's doing. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's impressive. Okay, so I'm just gonna try like another Brillo pad and see if that gets the rest of the junk off. Yeah, it's taking it off pretty well, actually. So I'm gonna rinse this though, because I want to get rid of this stuff and get it out from under my sink, because God knows how old it is. I think I got it from my parents when they moved out of their last place, which was a while ago. So, alright. Because my dad, God rest his soul, has been gone since 2015. So this stuff is old enough to be in kindergarten, probably. Alright, so I'm going to put this on. I'm going to let it sit. I'm just going to put it aside right now. Alrighty. So let's see. I'm going to take another pot. This is like a baby pot. I never use it. Oh yeah, check that out. It's really working. Better living through chemistry, I like to say, here on the Home Wrecker channel. I'm sure Martha Stewart would be proud. I used to think Martha Stewart was like really a cheesy person, you know, like back in the 90s. And I actually started to like her a whole lot more when she went to prison, because she just handled that so gracefully. I was really impressed, you know, and she did like crochet with the prisoners and made friends with them, and she hangs out with Snoop Dogg. So, you know, I think Martha Stewart's actually probably a pretty good-hearted person. for certain. If she makes some good pots and pans. They definitely did. So you can see that looks a lot better. Okay, it's not perfect, but that's a good first round. These are actual Brillo pads. I've tried the cheap, like knockoff Brillo pads. And, you know, some generic things are fine, like they work just fine. But I found that the cheap Brillo pads are really just, they're not as good. The knockoffs are not as good. And that's why I'm paying the extra whatever amount it costs for the Brillo pads. Because the other ones just disintegrate like immediately. And using them, you can maybe get one use out of them. And a real Brillo pad, you can get a few uses out of. So actually you're stretching your money a little further. All right, so I'm just going to scrub a bit. And I will be back. Put a little more on these for round 2. Let it sit. Yeah, it's really working. Like, look how shiny that one got. That one looks awesome. It's like as shiny as the copper we used in elementary school when we'd make those cool, you know, like art projects back when people did that sort of thing in school. I don't know, do they do stuff like that in school anymore? Do they use copper, or is it too expensive probably? All right, so I'm gonna let that sit for round 2 and then do a little more scrub of it. And I don't know how long I'm gonna let it sit, but I think I will. Oops, come on here, Brasso. Stop being an asshole. Okay, I think I'm gonna let it sit long enough to drink my Bud Light. And all right, finished my beer. The mail lady came. It's 6 p.m. and I'm just getting my mail. It used to come at 9 every day, but now it doesn't come until 6 p.m. And you know, I'm not going to blame the mail lady. She seems like a nice lady. I'm not sure why it changed so much though. But oh yeah, check that out. So I looked up what's in Brasso, and it said it's got some hydrocarbons, so I'm guessing it's probably going to give me cancer down the road. And it's got some silica, which I guess is maybe for the scrubbing. I'm sure there's chemists out there who know what all this stuff does. But boy, this stuff stinks. It really works, but it smells like a trailer park meth lab in here. So I had to crack open a window. It's a cooler day today in Vermont, where I am. And I do love Vermont. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice, I have to say. But it's a rainy day here. We had a very nice summer as far as weather goes, but it's rainy today, which is actually a good thing because it's been very dry. But I know it has that little ring around it, but you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it because I'm not perfect and it doesn't need to be perfect. But oh yeah, I think, you know, part of it is just like giving it enough time to sit on there and actually have the chemical reaction from those mysterious hydrocarbons. And you know, there are a lot of other things that I could be doing right now. It's not like I woke up this morning and I thought I'm going to polish the bottom of my 20-some-year-old pots and pans, but I was just working in the kitchen and trying to clean some stuff up and throw some stuff away, and I looked under the sink and I saw that old thing of Brasso, and I thought, oh my god, how long have I had that thing? I should use it and move on with my life, let it go on to its next existence. So yeah, so this one has some spots on it that are a little harder to get off of there, but you can see it's coming clean. Yeah, so just want to say hello to the YouTube community, and God bless you for watching me scrub my pans all alone here on a Tuesday night. So I'm going to keep scrubbing, and I will show you the final result when they're all done. Like I said, I'm not aiming for perfection, just improvement. So I'm going to scrub the heck out of these, and I'll be back. Okay, my YouTube friends, so I cleaned all of these the best that I could. It was actually a lot of scrubbing, and my arm feels like I used one of those shake weights from the drugstore. But I polished them the best that I could, and some of them got really shiny. So, does this make my life better? Probably not, but boy, they do look pretty. And I don't know if Martha Stewart pans, pots and pans, are still made this well. But if they are, I would totally recommend them because, like I said, they outlasted my marriage. So there you go, Brasso. I used up all the Brasso, and looks good. Looks good. Still some spots. I'll have to think about that. I kind of feel like a polishing power tool, like a Dremel, might work better. So that might be my next video. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments. But thank you for joining me on my Tuesday night here in rainy Vermont, and I hope that you have a good night.